Hello and welcome to a special edition of Bible Alive. I'm so glad you're here with us today. You know, today we're going to look at how Bible prophecy is being fulfilled in the times that we are living in. And Pastor Helmer, a great friend of mine with Keep the Faith Ministries, has a special report on events that are transpiring in our daily lives today, right around the world, and probably in our backyards, and how they relate to Bible prophecy. Let's go right now to our new set for Prophecy Now with Pastor Helmer.
Welcome to Prophecy Now. I'm Hal Miller. The Church of England is disintegrating in slow motion over the ordination of women, the ordination of homosexual priests and bishops, and the blessing of same-sex unions. As a result, many traditional Anglicans and Episcopalians are reacting by requesting full, visible, and sacramental union within the Roman Catholic Church. The Anglican disorder goes back to the 1940s, when the Church began developing a theology that would permit women to be ordained to the priesthood. In 1976, the General Convention of the Episcopal Church, or the American branch of the Church of England, approved the ordination of women bishops. And in 1977, the first woman was canonically ordained to the priesthood. The first female bishop was ordained in 1989. In 2006, for the first time, Catherine Jefferts Scory was elected as the first female presiding bishop over the Episcopal Church. The ordination of homosexual clergy and the blessing of homosexual unions had its beginnings in the early 1970s and parallels the feminist movement. In 1998, the Lambeth Conference, which is the highest authority in the Anglican Church, was expected by gay and lesbian activists from Western countries to approve the blessing of same-sex marriages. But African and Asian bishops overwhelmingly defeated the vote. The Western bishops, who had already been unofficially blessing same-sex marriages, said they would start doing them officially without Lambeth Conference approval. But in 2003, chaos erupted. The new Westminster Diocese in British Columbia, Canada, decided to bless same-sex marriages whether church policy supported them or not. The Archbishop of Canterbury expressed his worry that such an action would cause divisions within the church. That year, openly gay Gene Robinson was ordained a bishop to the Diocese of New Hampshire and generated significant dissatisfaction, bringing the Anglican Church to the brink of splintering. Most recently, in May of 2010, Mary Glasspool, a practicing lesbian, was ordained a bishop in Los Angeles. Historically, the ordination of female priests is followed by the ordination of homosexual clergy. As a result of these developments, there are at least 6 independent Anglican communions that have been formed which are no longer in communion with Canterbury. Bishops and churches within national boundaries have broken communion with one another, and individual members are deserting the Anglican Church in unprecedented numbers, mostly becoming Roman Catholics. We went out on the street and asked some questions. Should the church ordain gay and lesbian ministers?
Well, I think it's totally inappropriate because, like I was stating prior before this recording, what are you teaching the children?
Another man shall not lie with another man's pretty point blank to me, so I don't understand how we can pick and choose our rules when it's so blatant in the Bible.
Well, the Bible says it's an abomination, and I believe that also. But the Bible also says that God gives you free will to do what you want. But it also tells you that if you do these things, there's a consequence for your actions.
Well, my personal opinion is that marriage should be between a man and a woman, as opposed to same-sex marriages.
I think they should go their own way and have girls date guys and guys date girls, and that's the way it should stay.
I brought my children up in a family with a husband and wife, and that's the way I was brought up.
God made a man and a woman, and in my viewpoint, that's how it is. There's something perverse about what these people are trying to pass, as far as men marrying men and women marrying women.
And you'll see things are going to really go downhill. And when you allow this to happen, the next thing you know, it'll be marrying animals. You know, once you cross those boundaries, I guess if I want to marry a sheep or a camel, I guess I'm gonna have to argue that in the court of law and pass that law and put the ring on the camel toe.
While the Catholic Church has been accommodating to individual members who want to convert to Rome, even giving them freedom to use their Anglican liturgy, they're known as Anglican Youth Catholics, never before has there been a provision or a facility for Anglicans to join the Catholic Church as whole church communities. But now, in an unprecedented move, the Pope is strategically taking advantage of the disintegration by making it easy for Anglicans and Episcopalians to convert to the Catholic Church through the creation of personal ordinariates, which means that whole congregations and whole groups of Anglican churches can now convert to Rome while keeping their Anglican liturgy, their traditions, and even their married priests. Personal ordinariates were established November 2009 by an apostolic constitution, the highest form of papal decree, known as Anglicanorum Coetibus. The constitution was created in response to the October 2007 request of the traditional Anglican Communion for full corporate union with the Catholic Church as a body, not as individuals. The traditional Anglican Communion was formed in 1991 as a separate denomination because of the liberal direction of the mainstream Anglican Church. The Roman Catholic personal ordinariates will be presided over by former Anglican bishops or priests ordained in the Catholic Church as priests, directly responsible to the Pope. If they are married, the Pope will make an exception so that they can continue to serve their congregations and communions. So far, there have been 5 requests to the Vatican to establish personal ordinariates. In March of 2010, the House of Bishops of the Anglican Church in America, a separate denomination, voted unanimously to join the Catholic Church along with 3,000 members in 120 parishes and 4 dioceses across the United States. They requested the Vatican to establish a personal ordinariate for them. Also in March, the Anglican Catholic Church of Canada formally requested the erection of a personal ordinariate in Canada. The Anglican Church of Australia, the Anglican Catholic Church in Australia, and the group called Forward in Faith Australia jointly applied for an ordinariate there. Also in Australia, the Church of the Torres Strait, another conservative Anglican communion covering northern Queensland and the Torres Strait, has also applied for a separate ordinariate. The traditional Anglican Church in England, Scotland, and Wales has also applied for an ordinariate. Through the ecumenical movement, the papacy is openly working toward full, visible, sacramental unity with separated churches in preparation for global religion as described in Revelation 13:8, which says that all that dwell upon the earth shall worship Him. No doubt one of the top priorities of the Roman Catholic Church is to recover her lost dominion over the Anglican churches, which separated from Rome at the time of the Protestant Reformation. As we approach the last crisis, it is a vital moment that harmony and unity exist among the Lord's instrumentalities. The world is filled with storm and war and variance, yet under one head, the papal power, the people will unite to oppose God in the person of His witnesses. This union is cemented by the great apostate. There are other churches struggling with the same issues. The strategic move by the Pope to open the door to disaffected Anglicans may well be a model for other communions or denominations that wish to join the Catholic Church. In other words, those Christian communions that no longer hold to the authority of the Bible and no longer have a distinctive voice because of the ecumenical movement may well find themselves slowly disintegrating because of rifts and divisions over unbiblical practices. The conservative branches of these denominations may well find themselves anxious to join the Roman Catholic Church. After all, lacking in adherence and loyalty to biblical authority, the Catholic Church, through the Pope, is the only authoritative voice left. When we come back, will there be a Sunday law upgrade in Europe? Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Larry, and I want to share something with you that comes straight from Remnant Publications, and I'm excited about it. because it's helped strengthen my walk with God in a huge way, and I know it will help you too. And it's this new Apple iPod. It comes preloaded with a huge selection of Remnant's audiobooks, books like Desire of Ages, Great Controversy, and Steps to Christ. And it comes with the entire testimonies for the church set preloaded right on there. Let's take a closer look.
For 25 years, I've had such a burden to get people to get truth-filled books in their homes. And I'm excited that Remnant Publications now has books on audio. And you know what? You can listen to them in an airplane. You can listen to them when you're driving to work. And in fact, I was just talking to a good friend of mine that told me this: Dwight, I just take my truck and I listen as I'm going to work, and when I shut off the truck, it's the first time in years that I can remember that I'd like to stay in the truck and just keep listening to them. Now as never before, people don't have to put it off. They can get the message, the Word of God, from their head to their heart.
As small as these iPods are, you'll be amazed with the quality of sound that comes from them.
We've taken extreme care in making these audio files as true to their original quality as possible. From the voices that you hear reading everything, to the music and the sounds that you hear are just as beautiful as they should sound. Not only is the iPod easy to use, but it can also do so much more than a regular MP3 player. You can load it with iPod apps, calendars, calculators, text versions of Bibles. You can put all sorts of apps. The sky is the limit.
I have to admit that I thought that there would be many who are intimidated by technology that would be afraid to try this new tool. But when people see how easy it is to use, they typically end up a happy user. You literally take it out of the box, plug in your headphones, point at the book you want to read, and you're listening. It really is that easy.
We realized there are some people who already have their own iPods or MP3 players. And that's why we've also made these books available on flash drives like this one. People can easily copy the files from this small drive to their own MP3 player.
I am so excited about this new technology, but it's not the technology that makes it so special. Like Mom used to say, it's what's on the inside that matters most, and this iPod is no exception. Check this out.
But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
The new fully loaded iPod has been such a blessing to me and many others, and Remnant wants it to be a blessing to you too.
You can have all this in your daily devotions to prepare you and your family for the second coming. Be equipped to face the future with God's powerful message of faith and hope for today.
Man, what a great day to share some books. One of the biggest problems that people make when they go out to share books is they try to share too many too soon. What we need to do is set some goals for ourselves. Now for some, setting a goal of sharing a book a day is a great way to start. And we think that's a tremendous idea. One book a day. Now you can work your way up from there, but start simple, don't overwhelm yourself, and make it a point to not let one day go by without sharing a book. So now that we have a goal of a book a day, let's talk about the type of book we share. We want to make sure that we're armed with the most effective books so that people will take the books we leave with them and read them. Now, some people have the mentality that because we're giving these books away, let's use the cheapest old book we have lying around. Well, that may be true to a point. We don't want to spend too much on books that we're giving away so we can give more away. But our goal isn't just to get books in people's hands. We want them to actually read the books we leave. I mean, some people take books that are so torn up and chewed up that when people receive them, they may receive them with a smile, but the next thing you know, they're throwing them in the trash can, and they never do read your book. Thankfully, Remnant Publications provides books that will address both your wallet and still provide excellent quality books that will entice people to open them and read the truths contained within. Now, the first thing you want to look for in a good book is a nice cover. You take the cover on this book, American Prophecy by Remnant. Now, there's a couple things about this. First, it's eye-catching. Now, I know you've heard that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.